Hamilton Mayor Fred Eisenberger joins us this morning with an update. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So let's start off with the council meeting today that will decide on Hamilton's mask mandate.
Yeah, we're going to the Public Health Board today with a recommendation from staff to eliminate the mandatory masking and the physical distancing bylaw that we put in place earlier on in the pandemic. It is different from the provincial one, and so we want to mirror what's happening with the provincial direction, but also continue to encourage people to continue to mask. There are still kind of outlying concerns about other variants and spikes in cases. And of course, also very, very important that people get their booster shots. Only about 50% of those that have had first and second doses have decided to get a booster, and it's very, very important. So we'll be lifting the masking provisions today, subject to council's decision, and that should be effective today because we're going to have a council meeting right after that to ratify that.
But under the provincial guidelines, even if Hamilton does lift it, you'd still have to, say, if you're on the bus, if you're on public transit, you still have to wear a mask.
Very correct. So on public transit, it's still required in all long-term care facilities and retirement homes, still very much a requirement. So people should have a look at the provincial requirements where masking is still required. I'm reading today in public health settings and hospitals and other places that is still a requirement going into the hospital as well as for those that are working there. So all of that will remain. In fact, it's likely that our city employees, when they come to work, are still going to be required to mask, even though people visiting our facilities may not have to.
It's the same here. We have to mask up as well when we're not on the air. So this is an additional layer then that Hamilton had, and now it's got to be repealed, or parts of it have to be repealed now that the new provincial guidelines are in. Correct?
Yeah, correct. I mean, each municipality either declared a state of emergency, and then thereafter required a masking bylaw. They were all localized decisions. And, for us to continue on, as of right this moment, people are still required to mask based on our bylaw. But hopefully by midday today, that will be gone, and it will mirror exactly what the province is doing.
Okay, want to have a fun update, a construction update on the Valley Inn Road Bridge, which is now reopened, newly built. And this is really important for the Around the Bay race and all the thousands of runners that are coming and looking forward or cringing at having to cross this bridge.
Yeah, Heartbreak Hill is right after that. So, some folks are going to be delighted they can cross the bridge, and then they're going to run right into their toughest part of the race towards the end of the race. So very, very grateful, thanks to a very generous sponsor, that we were able to replace this bridge. It's been in place since 1847. Been a strong connection in that location between Hamilton and Burlington. Of course, it takes some time and effort to actually replace the bridge, and so the front structure of the bridge has been completely renewed, and they put a temporary wooden deck down, and soon after the race, they'll be putting down a longer, more durable foot surface or pathway surface that will replace the wood that's in there temporarily. But fabulous that the bridge is done. It's been a historic connection between our communities down in that very, very pretty spot down on Valley Inn Road. And of course, the race is instrumental. I mean, that has been a missing part of the race for a couple of years, even though we haven't had it for a couple of years recently. But prior to that, it was missing because it wasn't safe to use. So now it'll be perfectly safe, and people can enjoy it. Both runners and a lot of folks that go down there and fish.
Yes, yes. Want to update too, now that the weather is nicer, an update on bike share.
Yeah, very delighted that council took up my direction to actually properly fund the bike share program. It's been running on revenues from the users only and the donations from sponsors and others, but it just hasn't been enough to put it on a sustainable path and to provide opportunities for growth. And so we're now going to be treating bike share like we've treated other forms of transportation, like transit, where 50% is going to be covered by the taxpayers and 50% is going to be covered by donors and revenues that help sustain that bike share. So it is going to be put on a solid footing. We're not going to have a worry about whether or not it's going to be operating. And, it's been very, very popular. It's got 26,000 subscribers. as well as some 200,000 rides per year. So very, very popular, and we want to see it grow and expand to other parts of the city as well. So very delighted that once we pass this, the budget, which this is inside the budget, that bike share in Hamilton will be put on a sustainable long-term footing.
Okay, we've run out of time, but thanks for joining us, Hamilton Mayor Fred Eisenberger.
Sun shines. Have a beautiful day.
It looks great.